So your take on professionals being allowed to compete in the Rio Olympics this summer? I mean, such a short notice.
Yeah.
What's your take on that? When you heard that, give us this.
You know, I feel it kind of ruins the amateur, you know, boxing and association overall, because as an amateur, your goal is to become an Olympian, and every kid training, their goal is to become an Olympian. So they, you know, for many generations, including myself, you know, I waited to go to the Olympics before I could go pro, because I know once I made it to the Olympics, once I went pro, I couldn't go to the Olympics. So that was you know, pretty much my route, is to go through the Olympics, you know, like Oscar De La Hoya did, like Sugar Ray Leonard, Muhammad Ali, all those, you know, great fighters that pretty much made boxing what it is today. And it's gonna be interesting to watch. Let's see what happens. But I know you know, there's different styles in a way, different scoring. So even a professional boxer might, you know, it'll be different going back into the amateur
scoring system
with only, you know, with only 3 rounds. We'll see how they do it. See, in amateur, they're training, sparring to get ready to be explosive for 3 rounds and to throw a lot of punches to score as much points as they can. So, you know, a professional boxer, you know, they happen to be more patient, you know,
more patient, working
more
the body,
timing,
doing this,
and you know, and they work the body a lot, you know, break down their opponents. But it's gonna be something interesting to watch. I honestly, myself, you know, if they were to ask me, which they did, if I would be interested in going, but you know, for me, my goal was to become a world champion.
So who asked you?
I had my opportunity. You know?
Who asked you this? Like who asked you if you could, if you were interested?
The association, the IBA, you know, and they pretty much they contacted my agent.
Why do you think is the reason they allowed professionals? Why?
It could be for the publicity. It could be for maybe they feel they need to do something different with amateur boxing, so it could be known again. You know, like to be.
Because I mean, they just did away with the headgear. Yeah, they did away with the headgear. You know,
sure.
and now
allowing
they're letting the pros. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, they made that the transition real quick.
Yeah, it was no headgear and boom, pros. Like,
yeah, they made it quick.
Those are 2 major steps that, I mean, you would figure happen years apart, you know, or
exactly,
far from now.
I could agree with the no headgear, you know.
Just like it used to be, right?
Except, you know, it's also, you know, as a boxer, it's difficult, you know, to be fighting, because in amateur, remember, you fight if you win, you could keep fighting. You don't get that 1 month break.
You don't get that 1 month.
You know, like us professionals, you know. Yeah. So even fighting with no headgear makes things a little dangerous, because even if you get caught with, by say, an elbow, you know, you could easily get cut.
You
know?
cut,
and you still have to fight 3 days later. So or 2 days later, or even the next day. In the Olympics, I recall, if you won, you always get like 3 days rest, because they pretty much divided 5 fights into 3 weeks. So there wasn't every other day. But the nationals, it was every other day.
Yeah.
You win, you continue. You know, you move on to the next round the next day, and I think with no headgear, just kind of makes it a little bit more dangerous for the amateur fighters. So if that would have, you know, but a fighter at the end of the day, a fighter, you know, an amateur or a professional, they're fighters, you know. So they're gonna
fight.
They're gonna put up with the rules. They're gonna put up with whatever comes, you know, in front of them, man. If I was in the amateurs, and it was my first time, you know, giving the Olympics a try, and they were to make this move, and switch the rules, I was still take whoever professional boxer decides to, you know, go
whoever
back.
throws in front of you, yeah.
Yeah, because that's what my goal is. My goal is to become an Olympian. My goal is to make it, and my goal was to win a gold.
Yeah.
You know, that was my goal. So no matter whatever whatever they put in front of me, whatever obstacle, you know, I started when I was 8. You know, so I've been through so many obstacles, and it's not gonna stop just because they're allowing professional.
Oh, he's just pro. It doesn't matter. So,
that's, you know, my advice to the amateurs is, you know, to not lose their focus, you know, to just continue and work for what they're going after. And me, honestly, right now, I wouldn't go to the Olympics because I had my chance, you know.
Yeah.
And I don't have nothing to prove no more as an amateur. My goal now is to become a world champion. My amateur career, I did what the best that I could have done, and now is
different chapter in life,
a
right?
different chapter in my life. Yes.
Thank you very much, man. Always
Cool, man.
blessings, man. Take care of yourself.